We're getting closer to some NFL action kicking off. Some of the team's rookies actually report today, and vets are going to follow them within a week or so. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. NFL Sundays are right around the corner, so let's get y'all ready for the season with former NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year and three-time Pro Bowler, lights out himself, Shawne Merriman. What's going on, man? You looking good. You look like you can still come off the edge for one more year, bro.
Hey, you know what? I look, don't feel. So I can line up and give about 12 to 15 snaps, but I'm not playing a run. I'm running straight up the field. So if any team call me out late, just know I ain't playing a run.
You hit me with the Friday. You want some of this too, old man? No. No, I do not want to go out there. So, hey man, we got about what, like a week left before like training camps officially kick off. Like, take us back. Like, how would you spend this last week of freedom and off season before heading into a training camp?
It was always for me, man, just getting around, a lot of family and friends because, when that season starts, you're locked in. And you don't really have time to spend around your normal family. Then your new family become your teammates, the coaches, the staff. I look back on it now in the relationships I've had with the PR and the equipment guys because you end up getting more closer to them than sometimes your family during the season because you're seeing them, sometimes 8 to 10 plus hours a day. But it's the funnest time of the year, right? Because everybody's walking in excited. Everybody, they got an opportunity, they got a chance. And so going into the season right now, it's like, you start looking at which ones actually really have an opportunity, which ones have a hangover from last season. So this is the best time for everybody right now to go out and prove themselves. That's what this time is about.
Yeah, once you're locked into that facility, you can say goodbye to your apartment, your house, whatever it is. Like, again, you're away from that family so much, and that was me. Like, not only as a kid with my dad being a coach, but also when you got to the league, it's something that it just became normal per se for a lot of us. And we're going into this new NFL season, a lot of storylines going on, a lot of new faces on some new teams. I guess, what are some storylines that excite you most going into this season? Has got you geared up?
I mean, I'm always going to be a Charger for life, right? So, what does Jim Harbaugh's second season look like? I definitely want Justin Herbert to get over that hump, because he's always taking a lot of flack by just, getting over that hump. And if he can get up into that star level of quarterback, one of the other biggest ones, man, is Aaron Rodgers. And people, he's easily to talk about, but what can he do for the Pittsburgh Steelers, man? Could he get those guys somewhere deep in the playoffs? Does he have it being that this is last year? Can he go out and get things done? But there's so many different storylines. I would love to see Lamar Jackson get over that hump. He's been in the playoffs. He's won MVPs. But at some point in time, if you don't get over that hump, they won't put you into the upper echelon of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Josh Allen, being a former Bill, can they get to the Super Bowl? They've gotten close so many times. Is that window closing for them? So, when you step away from the game, and I'm sure you probably know the feeling of this, you become a fan of these guys. You look at these pass rushers. I just did a Max Crosby's sack summit with Von Miller and Cam Jordan was out there with a lot of these young guys. You see if I can pass rush again, which I can't. But it's been great, and this time of the season is fun.
When you talk about Justin Herbert, a lot of people were talking on social media going back and forth because he was ranked over Jalen Hurts. When they're talking about top quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts has won 2 Super Bowls. Where's Justin Herbert compared to a Jalen Hurts to you at this point of his career?
I think you got to break it down into 2 categories, right? Are we talking about team categories, which obviously Super Bowl and wins and those things like that? Are we talking about individual talent? So I always want to kind of make it clear when we're discussing because I never want to take shots at Jalen Hurts because he is a damn good quarterback. It's not easy to win championships in the National Football League. When you talk about the individual talent and what they're capable of doing, it's hard to have that fight or have that argument that Justin Herbert is by far the strongest arm, physical specimen when it comes to the quarterback position. But again, until he wins and gets over that hump, that dark cloud is always going to be there, man. So I never want to take shots at the champion, which Jalen Hurts is.
All right, let's bring this to New York because everyone is excited about the 3rd overall pick, Abdul Carter, young, hungry pass rusher from Penn State. You came into the league young, hungry, pass rusher out of Maryland. Again, NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. So what's your thoughts on the young boy, Abdul Carter, coming into his first year?
I said it some months ago, and I'll say it again. He's my defensive rookie of the year. No doubt about that. I mean, and not just his talent, man. If you watch him away from the ball and his tenacity, his relentlessness, it's not like he's just coming out there as a skilled pass rusher and he can show up here and there and make some flashes. This guy's he wreaks havoc. Even when he's not actually making a play. And not forget, those other two guys that he has up there as well, in Brian Burns and I forgot,
Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, man. You got a three-headed monster there. And so he is destined not only to to win defensive rookie of the year, but don't be surprised if he's up in there on those double-digit sack records, because you got to turn who you're going to block. It's almost like you got to pick your poison that week. You got three outstanding pass rushers, so he's no doubt about it my defensive rookie of the year. But I think he's going to be good for a long time, especially having those other two guys there to kind of mentor him.
And then when you throw a guy like Dexter Lawrence in the interior, we're
No
talking
question.
about on paper, it looks good. Like it could be one of the best defensive lines in the NFL. So lights out. Talk to us about what's that meeting room like? If you're in a meeting room with you got guys like a Brian Burns, Kayvon, Dexter Lawrence, and then you draft a young stud in Abdul Carter. What's those conversations like? Like, how dominant do you think these guys feel like they could be this year?
I think they're going to be very dominant. I think they're going to finish up there in top 5, top 10 at worst in sacks. Dexter, man, just having that provided pressure in the interior. I played with a guy by the name of Jamal Williams, and people don't talk about him enough. Jamal Williams was a big part of my career while we were able to go out there and get sacks on the edge because of that pressure, the interior pressure, not allow guys to be able to step up and make plays. So they're going to get sacks by design because the quarterback is going to be escaping out. But in that meeting room, if I'm Abdul Carter, man, I am all ears. There's so much knowledge in there. There's so much information, along with his athletic ability, along with his capabilities going out there taking over games. If he picks up the right knowledge fast enough, he can come out and emerge as one of the best defensive players in the National Football League. And I'm not talking about 3-4 years from now. I'm talking about the next year or two. But you got to admire just those guys and those conversations they're having in that meeting room because they all want to be great.
Yep.
And there's going to be a lot of competing. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure they're brothers and they love each other, but everybody want to be the man. Everybody want to be the star in that room. And so there's going to be a lot of compete, which is great for that defense.
Hey, iron sharpens iron. Hey, we love the competition within each other because it's competition within brothers. And I continue to tell people all the time, they were pushing me to ask Kayvon, like, oh, how do you feel some sort of way? Do you feel slighted? It's like Kayvon's handle it like a true professional and like a true competitor. It's like this kid's going to bring the best out of me, going to make me even better, especially walking to a contract year. So everyone's looking at it like everybody can eat, So I'm glad that you said that. Let's flip things, kind of talk about the Jets for a little bit because Jermaine Johnson is coming back from an Achilles injury. When I sit and I watch the tape of this kid, he's an absolute freak. You suffered an Achilles injury before, so
Yeah.
What advice would you give to him when he comes out to training camp, because he wanted to get out there during mini camp, but the Jets kind of shut him down and was like, not yet, young blood.
And you know what? I applaud the Jets for that because a lot of times, you can be pushed out there too early when you're not ready. And that Achilles injury is one of the worst injuries in not only in football, but in sports. It takes away so much of your explosion and just your ability to cut and change directions. And more so when you come back from that injury, what he really needs to watch and really pay attention to is his other side, that compensation. Because it's a lot. You're putting pressure on one side and you're taking the pressure off the other one. And also too, man, the mental aspect. When you pop your Achilles, every time you go and push off of it, you're exploding off of it. You're constantly thinking, am I 100% healthy? Is this thing going to pop again? So I applaud the Jets, man, for making him take it slow because we're young lions, man. We all want to get out there on the field as fast as possible. But with that Achilles injury, you got to be careful with that one.
Applauded the Jets is something we haven't heard a lot of people say in recent years. They just locked up Garrett Wilson. signed him to a that 4-year extension, $130 million. He gets paid as one of the top receivers in the league. Aaron Glen and new GM Darren Muji has kind of come in and they've put out fires. Nothing has come out in terms of, I guess, bad viral news or distractions. Are they doing all of the right things right now in terms of taking care of one of their core pieces and also implementing their culture, but not making any of the wrong noise?
I think they got to win in Aaron Glen. I think that was something that they've been missing there a bit. Him being a player, him being around for so long, that experience is going to resonate to the locker room. And let's face it, those guys they need a leader. They've been requesting that. They've been looking for it. They got talent. They've always had talent, but they need somebody that's going to lead the charge. And when I saw that Aaron Glenn was even a possibility of going there, I said that they cannot mess this up. They have to find a way to bring him in that building because they are very close. They've always had talent there, but they haven't had someone to be able to get them over to that next level. And I think they gotta win in Aaron Glenn.
Appreciate you talking about New York sports. Another NFL, I guess NFL news that kind of broke yesterday. We're talking Tuesday, broke Monday, was the whole Teddy Bridgewater being suspended. I looked at your Instagram and you wrote a whole. You were very open and very personal about your experience of having coaches that have been like mentors to you. I'm a coach's son as well, so kind of, what was your thoughts on the Teddy Bridgewater situation when you found out that they had suspended him?
I grew up in Prince George's County, Maryland, man, in the Washington D.C. area, and back when it was really, really tough, it was hard. We spent a long time or a few times being homeless, sleeping in cars with my mom, my sister, shelters, you name it. And if it wasn't for my coaches, I don't know where I'd be at. And I'm not talking about just my high school coaches, but also my club coaches. We couldn't afford cleats. We couldn't afford gas. They would pick me up from practice. So as you said, man, that hit home for me because you're penalizing somebody that should be celebrated. What he did for those kids out of his own pocket, and making sure they had food and massages and Ubers to get to practice. They should be ashamed. They should be ashamed, man. It really got under my skin because where I grew up at, things could have went completely sideways from where I came from. And my coaches being there and the people around making sure that I got to practice kept me away from my current environment. So I can only thank them for even being there for me. So I don't know all the ins and outs, but from what I read and the things that Teddy Bridgewater did for those kids needs to be applauded. Needs to be applauded. I mean, they should be ashamed of what they did down there.
Yeah, my dad says all the time, each one, reach one, teach one. And he also says, he's like, I got 7 kids, but really I got 100 something. Because when you're coaching, when you're a college coach, you're a father figure. You're your unc, per se. So I completely agree with you, and I hope that that's something that whoever it is that kind of enforced that suspension, they can kind of look back and realize what he was actually doing for the kids and not look at it as some sort of advantage. Let's talk about Shawne Merriman, man. Like what's next for you? What's next for Lights Out TV?
Yeah, man, we got a big fight for Lights Out Extreme Fighting coming up August 9th in Long Beach, California. Lights Out Extreme Fighting 26, which is crazy, man. Having 26 events. Got a big card coming up. It'll be live on Lights Out Sports TV. Matt, the way we've grown over this past year, and some of these superstars we've sent to the UFC and got them off the ground, got them visibility. Man, we're one of the fastest growing in the country. But also too, we got the tailgating show coming up this year. We'll be out in the parking lots. My partnership with Game Day Hospitality. We're going to be live streaming up to 16 different tailgates this year on Lights Out Sports TV. So if you guys don't have Lights Out Sports TV, man, make sure you download it. It's on every smart TV, iOS and Android. But it's called the Ultimate Fan Zone. You got never seen anything like this before, and got another huge announcement coming out with my partnership with Game Day Hospitality. So make sure you tune in this year for the tailgate shows.
Man, you come on out to New York. You come to a Giants game. I got the tailgates for you guys to turn up at. Just I can't turn up too much because I'm the in-game MC and stuff, but I will point you into the right direction for sure if you come out.
Yeah, no, we'll be at the Giants games in the parking lots and the Jets parking lots this year as well. And we're looking forward to it, man. We love the fans, and we want to give. We have 3 former players in the parking lot. kicking it with the fans, asking questions about the game, cooking, grilling, RVing. I mean, you've never seen anything like this before, man. So this is going to be a great year.
Favorite tailgate food?
Well, I'm in San Diego, man. So, get me some quesadillas, carne asada, or something like that.
Nice.
Sandy, we do it right out there on the West Coast. But yeah, we'll be out there in Thunder Alley for the Chargers this year as well.
All right, Shawne, thanks for hopping on with me, man. And good luck with all your ventures, man. You're doing it, bro. Appreciate you.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me on.